So here's how I lost 50 pounds over 10 years ago and never gained it back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Melody. If you don't know me by now, I am a nurse, a mom, a grandma. I am an author. I'm among so many things that I am. And I am originally from Africa. So there's a lot of things about my journey that I've not shared on this channel. And today I wanted to share how I lost 50 pounds over, I think 10 to 15 years ago. It's a long time ago and never gained it back. So let's go on a journey of my story. So about a few years back, and I'll start back when I was younger, 15, 16 years old, I didn't weigh much. I was born and raised in Africa. So what we ate, our diet was really an indigenous diet. Like I remember we grew our own vegetables. My mom used to get herbs out of our garden, and we grew our own cornmeal that she would pound and then would make some cornmeal with that. So I grew up very, very healthy, at a very healthy weight. And when I was 19, I came to America and I was in college and I was fine. But then I had children. I had 3 children back to back. They were 2 years apart. And I noticed after my 3 children, I had accumulative, I think I'd gained over 50 pounds. I gained most of the weight on my first child. And from that then on, it just continued to pack on. And so I had accumulated greater than 50 pounds from what I'd ever been. And you know, I actually remember back in the day, during that time, I knew something was wrong because I had trouble breathing. I'd have trouble breathing. I would get tired when I was going upstairs. But you know, sometimes you just think it's because it's not a lack of movement. And I just continued just, going through the motions, and I was clinically depressed during that time. So I didn't feel like doing anything, didn't want to do anything. And and I'll tell you, the biggest thing that helped me, the start of my story is I went to my doctor's office, and it was a routine doctor's office, never had any issues. I'll just go in and out. And this one particular day, they would not let me leave. And the doctor kept asking them to recheck my blood pressure, because my lower blood pressure, if you know anything about blood pressure, the diastolic number was too high. It was greater than 100. It was way greater than 100. And I remember the worry in the office people, the worry from my doctor, because I was young. I was in my 20s. And so during that day, at the conclusion of that day, the doctor pulled me aside and he said, "We're going to send you home today. However, I need to see you back in the doctor's office." He gave me an ultimatum. He said, when you go home, I need you to, it's up to you. If you don't want to end up on medication and end up needing more, you can turn this around right now. He told me, I need you to diet, I need you to exercise, I need you to eat healthy, and I need you to own your health. He even told me, he said, "You're a nurse, so you know what I'm talking about." And I tell you, I was so scared that day. The way the doctor spoke to me, the way the office staff looked when they were rechecking my blood pressure, I was scared straight. And I left that doctor's office, made an ultimatum to myself. I said, I have to do something about this. And I'll be honest with you, even I knew I could not do it alone, because when you build bad habits over time, it's not something that, for most people, let me talk about most people. For most people, it's hard to actually switch that around. And I'll just say that everything I'm going to share in this video is just for educational purposes. It's just my story of how I lost weight. It's not medical advice or anything like that. And so I left the doctor's office and I started on my journey. I realized that I needed to lose weight, and I was working nights. I was a nurse, and I went to my gym. I had a local gym that I used to go to. I had a gym membership, let me get that straight, that I never used, right? But I went to the gym and then I asked them about how much it would be to get a personal trainer. They told me how much it would be. I asked them, what is the bare minimum days I can work? Because my budget was very low. So what is the bare minimum days I can work with this personal trainer? And they let me know what days that was. I think back then it was 2 days, 30 minutes a session. And I signed up with a personal trainer. I actually got to do a first session with a personal trainer that day. And I told the personal trainer straight out the gate, I said, I need to lose weight. I have high blood pressure that is lingering in the back door. I don't like to exercise. I don't want to be here. And I need you to not let me let myself down. I said, I'm going to come to workout and I'm going to be upset. But please, I'm just asking you, please don't give up on me. I already know it's going to be bumpy, but I'm just telling you up front, please don't give up on me. So the very first thing is I got a personal trainer. I knew I was not accountable to lose the weight. I knew I had not been doing a good job of it all this time. So the very first thing is I got a personal trainer, told them exactly where my head was, that my mindset wasn't even right. And I needed them to help me. So I literally just gave myself to the process, and I let them know what my weakness was. And that was the beginning of the journey. And so with this personal trainer, we worked out twice a week. I'll tell you, there were times she would call me, and because I work night shift, I would come in and I would fall asleep instead of fall asleep and be late, because the workout was like about 11 o'clock in the day. I would work night shift. I'd say, let me just have 2 hours. If anybody has worked night shift, you know how that is, where you think you can actually get 2 hours and get up and be functional. She'd call me and say, I'm waiting for you. And I would be like, oh my God, I'm sleeping. I'm sorry. Can we postpone? She'd be like, my time is precious. I don't appreciate that. Literally, I remember she would really with a straight face, she'd be like, I need you here. I can squeeze you in later on in the day, and this won't happen again because my time is precious. And we started working out on a routine basis. And I remember she told me that it takes 90 days to develop a habit. After 90 days, it would become my habit. And I committed to working with that personal trainer. And if I tell you, that was the beginning of my journey, because she helped me look at what I was eating. One of the very first homework she gave me was to make a food diary of everything that I ate throughout my day. Write it down. If I picked up a chocolate candy, write it down, whatever it was. And I'm telling you, at the end of 24 hours, because she had me do it like for 2-3 days, and then I'll meet up with her. At the end of 24 hours, even I was shocked at the stuff that I came through, stuff that I was putting in my mouth, just stuff. And when I looked at it now, because she then started educating me on the good carbs, vegetables, fruits, and you should not overload yourself in fruits too, because they have sugar. But she started really educating me on the foods I needed to be eating, the brown rice. I tell you, when I looked at my food diary, very, very few of those things were on that food diary. And so with her help, I was able, and she was also a certified nutritionist, with her help, I was able to eat right, work out consistently. For the days that I did not work out with her, I would go for the classes at the gym and just join the group class. Whether it was Zumba, whatever it was, just have fun and just do some cardio. I would do cycling on the 2 days that I would not work out with her. So 2 days with her, 2 days just whatever the gym was offering. And I literally began my journey to weight loss. I remember the first thing is I did not see any movement on the scale. But what she then did is I did see definition in my body. So she then started measuring my progress with measuring my measurements, like my waist and my arm circumference. And we literally started to see movement there, that I was literally just growing, losing weight and getting more defined and smaller. And over time, I remember I worked out with her consistently for 6 months. At 6 months, I looked totally different. If I show you before and after pictures, I look totally different. I went from 210 and I went all the way down 50 pounds. And currently today, my highest, I think I was about 210. Today, I'm usually 160 to 165. I never go beyond or below that or above that. And I'll tell you, till today, I still eat how she showed me to eat. I'm still active. I'm currently in school, so I don't work out as much as I used to, but I still make it a point to try to walk when I can. A lot of the habits that she gave me then, I still have them today. And I'll tell you, another thing I did is I started seeing a psychologist because I realized that it was a mindset thing, that there was more to my issue than just the food and the weight. And so I started working with a psychologist who then helped me work through some childhood stuff as well as teenage stuff, and just helped me work through a lot of things that I didn't even realize I was carrying around. So this is for somebody, sometimes we think it's the weight loss, that it's just the weight that we need to lose, but sometimes there's more to that there's some inner issues, like some psychological issues that you may need to work through. And believe you me, when you work through those things, you'll be surprised what that will actually positively just beginning to impact your journey, whether it's weight loss, building a business, relationships. It literally just builds everything. So I started seeing a psychologist, which was amazing because I did a lot of work with her, and I slowly got rid of a lot of baggage that I didn't even know I had. And throughout this whole process, I was working full-time, I was in school full-time, and I used to take a rescue inhaler because I couldn't breathe and I thought I had asthma and stuff like that. But over the years, I was able to get rid of all those things. Like, I don't need them. I'll use it because I'll need it because I could not breathe. But praise God, today I don't need those things because I can breathe and life is good. And that's my journey in a nutshell, how I lost 50 pounds. And I think what's unique about my story is I did not do it alone. I don't claim to have done it alone. I know I would have never been able to do it alone and maintain that discipline, but I got the strategic help that I needed for it. And today, believe it or not, most of these services come with whatever benefits that we have, some of these services. So I just want to encourage you, if you're watching this video because you're on a weight loss journey and you're trying to figure out where to start from, I just hope something I said in the video today is an encouragement. Whether it is get support, get help, if you can afford it, get a personal trainer. Also work with your doctor, because I continue to work with my doctor, continue to weigh in, continue to monitor my blood pressure till they totally gave me a clean bill of health. And my doctor really was pleasantly surprised and very encouraging when I turned things around and I felt better, So my hope today, as I am, I still go between 160 and 165 pounds. I show people pictures of me back then. They don't even believe it was me. And I am so grateful. I still periodically work with my personal trainer, and I just recently, she just started working with my son because he's on his journey. So she just started working with my son, and they're doing an amazing job. So this relationship that was started like 10 to 15 years ago, I think it was I'll have to see how many years, it was a long time ago. This relationship that was started I think it was 15 years ago, is still going strong. She still looks amazing, still going strong. And now she's working out with my son. And it's just a blessing because you get to meet people that go with you it's a lifestyle, right? It is a lifestyle. And lately, one of the things that I've needed is, just talking to her, I'm able to kind of like glean from her somewhat, like where I am now in my 40s, what I need, and she's able to help me with that. So don't be afraid to reach out to professional help during your weight loss journey. Don't be afraid to reach out for professional help with your mental health journey. Anything, how I look at it, anything. We don't have the master key. Let's get the people that are experienced to help us with it. More power to the people that have done it alone. This is just my story that I'm sharing. So until the next time, I hope that you have an amazing day. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe as best as you can.